Steve for sharing his story, an inspirational one that it was. At the Department of Human Services here in Philadelphia, we are very fortunate because we see many of our young people who overcome some major obstacles and go on and lead happy and productive lives. But far too many of them are not so fortunate. And those who are least likely to achieve positive outcomes are those youth who don't have a caring adult in their lives, who are living in institutional settings, and who ultimately age out of the system without permanency, family connections, or connections with a caring adult. I often say, who are they going to be able to call in the midnight hour? Because that's the time that it matters most, is when you're really feeling bad, who can you connect with? So that's why DHS has undertaken a concerted effort. We call it All Roads Lead Home, to ensure that every youth in our care grows up in a stable and loving, nurturing environment and a family-like setting. Since we have begun that campaign, we've made considerable progress, drastically reducing the number of kids in congregate care, which means group homes or institutional settings. We started at around 23%, we're now down to 14%, but we still have a long way to go. But in order for us to achieve that goal, we are in desperate need of what we call resource parents, or foster parents, better known also as kinship in some instances. So what we're really looking for is some people who are willing to open their hearts and their homes to some young people that are in placement. In particular, we have an urgent need for families who are willing to step out and foster an older youth. More than 40% of our young people in the system right now in Philadelphia are over the age of 12. And without proper support, these youth are twice as likely to drop out of school, come to some other undesirable outcomes, such as many become pregnant. They remain in the system, they just become part of other systems, such as the public assistance, the prison system, and a number of other outcomes that we don't want for any of our kids. However, we know what the difference that a loving and encouraging and guidance of a home can make for these young people. And many of them are able to succeed and flourish, just like Steve. And just an aside, for those of you who might be considering fostering an older youth, we know that teenagers are a handful. We know that raising a teenager costs considerably more than when you raise that 6-year-old, because we know they eat a lot, and their shoes and sneakers and things cost more. So we have upped the stipend that we pay for resource homes for the older youth. We've upped that stipend. But we don't expect you to do it all on your own, the resource parents. That's why DHS will also working very hard to support our older youth and sort of help them with that transition into adulthood and into independence. So our Achieving Independence Center, we call it AIC, is a one-stop shop that focuses on helping older youth transition to adulthood. We have a host of programs there, such as life skills training, money management, mentoring, job training, tutoring, helping you to apply for college, getting financial aid, anything that could be considered part of what you would need to do on your pathway to independence. All of that can be received at the AIC. That strategy is working, and I'm really pleased to report that last year, 85 of our AIC members graduated high school. 4 of them were the class valedictorians. 65 of those graduates are now enrolled in post-secondary school. So for those of you who would like to help us by supporting the youth in care, but aren't able to take on the commitment of being a foster parent, because we understand that's not for everybody. There are other ways that you can help, such as being a mentor. We are in real need of some mentors as well for some young people, because we know the difference that just one caring adult can sometimes make in a young person's life. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Just a little while ago today, I actually spoke with one of our young people, Gabrielle Taylor. Gabrielle actually happens to be here tonight. Stand up for me, Gabby. So Gabrielle just graduated from Temple University last Thursday. With her BA degree in social work. But she's already started giving back because she started working at our AIC, doing some tutoring and other things for other young people there. But her life is really going in the right direction, and she's flourishing. She's actually going to be leaving for Spain in about another week or two, where she's going to be part of a cultural exchange program and continue to develop. Gabrielle came into our system as an older youth. She came in when she was in high school, was in kinship care for a short period of time, and then when she went to college, she became part of our independent living program or transitional living program. And normally when we say kinship care, you think it means placed with a relative. We do use a loose definition, so it was striking to me when I heard Steve talk because there are some similarities in their story. Because Gabby's kinship placement was not a relative. It turned out to be someone who mentored her, who used to be part of an after-school program that she went to, and then agreed to go ahead and become her kinship care parent, and has made a lot of difference in her life. We're also looking forward to when she eventually comes back here from Spain and probably joins our ranks to become a social worker in the middle of those ranks. So I'd like to say thank you to all the resource parents who are sort of in the room and have answered that call for our most vulnerable children. That brings me to Valerie and Larry, who have done a phenomenal job with this foundation. And just for partnering with the Department of Human Services, I first met them, I was not commissioner, but talking to them because we had that shared interest in young people, and I thought it was too good to be true. All that they brought, we really were questioning it because it's unusual that we get that kind of people who are that committed and weren't asking for anything in return. They just wanted to be able to meet these young people and do something for them. And so for that, we will always love you at the Department of Human Services because you have done a lot for our young people and for the department, period. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you who may be willing to help us in some way, shape, form, or fashion, for helping to right the wrongs, for maybe being that shoulder for some young person to cry on, even if you just want to become part of somebody's circle of affection. So when I say to the midnight hour, they don't have anybody to talk to, maybe you're willing to do that for us. So we want to say thank you for everything, and to my young people that are here, you know I love you. You are all doing well, and I am beyond proud of all of you. Thank you.